So this is a little bit of a personal share, and I actually wasn't going to share this, but with the magic that unfolded today, I just feel like um, it's a story to share. I think it's part of the reason why I had the experience. The other night, I was involved in a car collision, and you know me, I see everything from a higher perspective, and I see this too from a higher perspective. And it might be difficult to kind of access what a higher perspective is from getting into a car collision. But I strongly believe that there is a lesson within every experience that we have. Now, during the experience, I'm not supposed to know what the lesson is. I'm not supposed to really understand and go, what's the higher perspective from this? I'm just supposed to see who I am and really be in the present moment and see my feelings, access my feelings, honor my feelings. And at first I was a little bit, kind of sideswiped about it, where I really was kind of in shock. And it wasn't until I sat down to have dinner that it really hit me watching this car come at me. And in the second before it T-boned me, I really thought, I was like, oh, this could be really bad or worse. And I thought it, and I literally just turned my head back straight, grabbed the steering wheel, and said, here we go. But in that moment, I really fully embraced whatever might happen. And that was a pretty powerful realization to have when I sat at home and I was eating dinner. That's when it really hit me. Now, the following day, yesterday, and everything that's taking place, it can be dramatic, dealing with insurance and all that stuff, such a headache while you're trying to live your life and do the things you need to do. And today I had an appointment to go to the collision center, and I was given, a list of them, and I picked one, and I went at 9:30 this morning, and you sit there going, you're trying to be in the best mood as possible when having to deal with a situation like this. But it was the situation today that really showed me how blessed and how much I appreciate everything that has happened. And that's really the whole moral of this story. The guy who had helped me out today was checking out the car, and I had told him, I take responsibility on my part. I was strongly guided not to leave and go to the gym. Yes, I went to the gym. That's how it happened. I was strongly guided not to go to the gym. I mean, I stood right around here fighting it too, because I did not want to go. Yet I even said out loud, I know, but I really want to burn some fat. That's like literally where my head went. So a little ego in me came forward. And the day before, I actually had a vision of the very same thing happening. Not where I could see what cars it was and what was happening, but I thought I had created this vision out of fear, like, oh, that it could happen. Yet it's the exact thing that happened. And I'm realizing that I was being communicated with and kind of strongly guided not to go to the gym, and yet I went anyway. And that's a prime example of not listening to your inner being, your higher guidance, the angels and guides that work with you when you should. And so I went, and I was literally coming home from the gym on a turn I always take when I go to the gym. It was no different. There was nothing that I was not expecting. It's just something that happened, and I'm not going to go into the details with it. So I always go down that street, so you don't think anything different. So as I'm talking to the guy today, I said, yeah, that's like I was guided. He goes, isn't that funny how your intuition really tells you? And I was like, what? Say what, brother? And I was like, you talking my language? Okay. And then he said, yeah, he's like, I don't know if past lives have anything to do with what happens. And I was like, hold on a second. I was like, you are helping me, and you're talking to me about past lives and intuition. And he's got his little clipboard. And he's like, and I go, that's what I do. I said, I actually take people into their past lives, and I work with people's intuition and spiritual development and helping them to receive messages from spirit. And I do channeling work and everything. And he goes, no way. He's like, we were just talking about that in the office. And I was like, it looks like we're all supposed to be here. And he started telling me this story about how he made bad decisions for a long time. And I watched him kind of be in this place of he made bad decisions and doesn't want to be that person. And it was so beautiful and so powerful to listen to him just be vulnerable about that situation. And he goes, I'm trying to change my life now and do this. And I was just I felt so much love in that moment for this guy and like so proud of him. And I said, you know what? There's no good and bad. I said, listen, everything just is. Everything we experience in this life is a lesson. It's something we're supposed to learn, and we make conscious choices with that. And I said, the point is, knowing that you have a dark side of you that did these things, what do you want now? What are you reaching for now? And that's really what it comes down to. I said, you learned something throughout that time, right? I said, and now you want something better, something light. But this guy had so much light coming out of him that you would never even think that he would have done anything bad in the past. He just had such a good feeling. And I said, you're just going through an awakening into your next cycle, and you're kind of like finding that your purpose is bigger than what you were involved in. I said, so the one thing I want to leave you with is no judgment. Do not judge yourself for the experiences you had. Just learn from them and use them so that you can make new decisions. It was so beautiful and so powerful, and I realized, I was like, oh my God, that made all of this experience worth it, that I get to fulfill my purpose. Not only that, but when I went to go get the Enterprise rental car, the same thing happened, but in a different way. So I'm talking to this beautiful girl, and we start talking about, I don't even know how it came. We were talking about rushing and how you shouldn't rush anything. You should just allow things to take place, and you need to take conscious breaths to always bring you back into the present moment. And how anxiety is just you projecting consciousness outside of the present moment. So that's how it started, and it turned into this beautiful exploration in like receiving information, following your purpose, numerology. Her and her boyfriend and I share the same birthday. And I go, do you see how everything is divinely orchestrated? That sometimes you find yourself in a situation so that something bigger can happen. Because if I didn't have that experience, and I'm not saying it was a good experience, I'm just saying if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't have been able to be put in the position to give light to two souls today, to be a part of their journey, to instill trust within them, to ensure them that they're going in the right direction. Because on some higher level, they have asked for that experience. They wanted more, they needed more. And well, the universe works in very miraculous ways. And yes, I was in a collision. And yes, I went to that particular place all the way up. It's not even over here. It's down on Pico and like Koreatown. So it's not like it was around the corner or anything. So then when I was leaving and I looked and I go, oh my God, the 222, like 2222. I was like, those are my numbers. And that happens to be the 4 digits on the last thing of your phone number here. I didn't even know that. And I literally was like, this is amazing. I was like, see, everything is showing you a sign that you are where you're supposed to be. And even some of the most traumatic experiences that bring life-altering thoughts or feelings or shifts in your life actually are of service and of purpose to you. So if I can leave you with one thing, it's remember that everything is happening for you and not to you. And it only gives you an opportunity to reach higher into a level that is calling for you, that your soul is calling for, and to be of service to others. And it is so worth it. I hope this story helps some of you going through a hard time, and I know many of you are because we've talked about it. But those of you that aren't reaching out to people, I really truly hope this helps you see a different perspective of the experience. I send you so much love. It's so much light at this time because I know it's heavy and I know it's hard, but you do have love around you. You have me if you need to come to me. You have your family. You do have people. It's about vulnerability and trust. So trust yourself and go in the direction that calls you. I send you guys love. Thank you so much.